Oh, Stitch, what are you doing here? I know we're talking about your film today. How exciting's that? Yeah, you're part... Yeah, Stitch, you're part of the Scene Stealers family now. Oh. That's so right, Stitch. Why don't you come and sit over here with me? He's feral. That's right, guys. I'm Henry Calvert, and welcome to Scene Stealers.
And I'm Tobias Turley, the voice of Stitch.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear that.
Screw you, Chris Sanders. Tobias Turley's now the voice of Stitch. I can't do... Lilo. Lilo. No, I can't bloody do it.
You can't do it. You're not very good.
No.
If you can't tell, today's episode is about the newest Disney release, Lilo and Stitch live action.
Yeah, we're going on a Hawaiian roller coaster ride.
Yeah, baby.
With some very special guests as well. That being Dean Fleischer Camp and Sydney Agudong, who plays Nani and the director.
Wait, she was the director?
I said that the wrong way around. We've got special guests Dean Fleischer Camp and Sydney Agudong, who is the director and Nani, respectively.
Sorry, I'm so with you. I thought you were saying she was the director and the Nani.
No. Yeah, some very special guests this time. I had the pleasure of sitting down with them last week. They were very lovely. Dean Fleischer Camp especially was very, very nice. I hope I'm saying his name right. Dean Fleischer Camp. Dean previously directed Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which was very well received. It is on the Letterboxd Top 250, which we nerded out over for a little while, which was very fun. And yeah, I spoke to Sydney as well about her music career and all of that good stuff. Very, very exciting.
Very exciting episode ahead.
But before we get into the interviews, I think we should just talk about what we thought of the movie. But I think we should start with what our relationship is with Lilo and Stitch, the original.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Toby, what was your thoughts on the original when you watched it? What was your relationship like with it?
I have very little relationship with the original.
Same.
I can't really remember watching it as a kid. And if I definitely did watch it because I know the movie, but it's not one I rewatched. I don't think it wasn't a go-to for me.
Yeah,
so
it was never one I had on VHS.
No.
It wasn't one of the classic renaissances that I
No. But I remember liking it, and I liked the character Stitch a lot. But I kind of went into this with just no hopes for it. I've not watched the movie in years. But I'll wait to say what I thought about the movie.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the sequels?
No. I've heard Ivan was talking to me about Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch gets a glitch or something, has a glitch.
I really like that film.
Okay.
I think that is one of the stronger direct-to-VHS Disney sequels. But there's like a weird timeline. I think there's like 3 Lilo and Stitch movies and then a Lilo and Stitch series.
There is, because... So Ivan was telling me that Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch, is about the rest of the aliens.
No. Stitch the movie is about all of the aliens. So I think weirdly, I think the timeline, to my knowledge, which might not be right, it goes Lilo and Stitch 1, then Stitch the movie. Oh, no, sorry, I tell a lie. It's Lilo and Stitch 1, then Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch, then the TV show, or then Stitch the movie, then the TV show, then Leroy and Stitch.
Leroy and Stitch?
Yeah, Leroy's the red one.
Oh, God. Didn't know that one
Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch is definitely worth a watch if you're a fan of the
I'll give it a watch.
But the original, of course, directed by Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois, who also directed the How to Train Your Dragon movies, and Chris Sanders also directed Mulan and The Wild Robot.
Well, this is lore I did not know.
Yeah, so Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois worked together. I tell a lie. No, it wasn't Mulan. Dean DeBlois was on Mulan. But Chris Sanders directed Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon 1, and The Wild Robot.
He's got a good few movies under his name, isn't he?
Really good. Dean DeBlois has Lilo and Stitch. I believe he was an animator on Mulan or something like that.
And the 3 How to Train Your
Dragon.
Dragons.
And the 3 How to Train Your Dragon movies.
I love those
and
movies.
The upcoming live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie. Now, when I've been interacting with Dean DeBlois for a while because the upcoming issue of SFX magazine features my article on the new How to Train Your Dragon film. So I've sat down with Dean lots of times in the past month. And we were speaking about live action remakes, specifically this one and Mulan, because him and Chris Sanders worked on this and Mulan respectively. And he said that Chris Sanders told him to not watch the live action Mulan because it was that bad.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are pretty bad.
But the Mulan one, apparently, Chris Sanders literally told Dean to not do it because it lost the essence of it.
I kind of forgot they did that one.
Yeah, because it was one of the first things that went direct to Disney+.
Oh, that's right.
But Chris Sanders did not say that about this live-action movie, which I do find interesting, because they do change a lot
from the original movie. Film. Well, let's both, on the count of 3, say our star rating.
Out of 5, I gave it 3, 2,
1,
3.
3.5.
Okay, cool.
I really enjoyed this movie. I'm genuinely debating a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's on 3.5 just because it's on the lower side at the moment because it is a Disney live action remake. It has its flaws. But I genuinely had a really good time with this movie. Okay. I had a really good time. I think maybe because I was watching it with Ivan and he loves the original movie. He's watched all the movies, the series. And he was pointing out like that was shot for shot from the movie and this. I didn't know any of that. Yeah. And so this was pretty much a new experience for me because I've not watched the movie in so long. And I loved it. Okay. It is by far my favourite live-action remake.
I'd go so far as to say that I think this is probably the live-action remake that doesn't feel... one of the only live-action remakes that doesn't feel like a cash grab.
Yeah, and I think... I was discussing this with Ivan the other day. I think the reason it felt so good is that with stuff like The Lion King and The Jungle Book, the whole film is a CGI shagfest. And it's not the best CGI. It looks good, but it gets so overwhelming at times, and the novelty really runs thin. Whereas this, it is pretty much just Stitch and the aliens.
Yeah.
And it is done really well, and I think Stitch is animated brilliantly. Do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think Stitch is really... Yeah. I mean, he's very tactile in the film.
I think they beautifully capture the essence of Stitch. I think they did the best with him that they could have done.
Yeah, if I was being picky, he's a bit too light blue. I think it should be a slight shade darker, but
really?
That's if I'm being really pernickety.
But it's done so well. The humour is funny. Like I genuinely laughed out loud quite a few times. The heartfelt moments are so deep and so great.
There's some moments which I think, I don't know, that they changed in this film that, I don't know, had more heart in the first, like, for example, like, it's not Nani that takes Lilo to get a dog. Like, in the original, Nani's like, oh, you need a friend, let's go get.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this Lilo kind of just happens upon him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something nice about the sisterly relationship of, I'm going to take you. Do you know what I mean? It adds to that dynamic.
I think it adds nicely though to the pressure in which Nani is feeling. Like I get it. What's the neighbour's name? I can't remember.
Two.
Yeah, I like it that it's from her going, you've lost everyone. You need a friend.
Yeah.
And then that Nani being like, we can't take care of a dog right now, or whatever Stitch is, or and then it adds more to her arc to deal with, and I think that she acted that really well, that arc, until like the end when she eventually saves Stitch.
Controversially, right? I'm going to save that for the end.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to save that for the end.
All right, okay.
That's a hot take. We're ending this video with some Disney hot takes.
Yes.
And I think I have quite a doozy.
I'm going to put it out there now. The actress who played Nani, gorgeous.
Yeah, as you will see, I sat opposite her and I stumbled over my words a couple of times.
I wouldn't have been able to say anything.
She Sydney Agudong, very pretty woman and very
pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman.
But she's got a really interesting story as well. I say she left Hawaii at like 16 or 18 or something, straight out of school. And headed straight to LA to pursue a music career.
Love that for
her. She was saying that she was like literally about to quit before she got this role.
I love those little stories.
So yeah, but she actually has. I said to her, I was like, she's put out a couple of really good songs. There's one that I had in my earphones the entire day after I interviewed her. I think she did a really good job in this film.
She was great.
She is. I like the Lilo and Stitch dynamic, but it's Nani that's really the heart of the film.
Yes, she carries a lot of the emotional weight.
Yeah,
and she does it really well. Like her relationship with Lilo, is so cute. It's so sweet, and I truly believe that they are sisters that have been through everything together.
What I did give it a 3, which means in my books that is like I liked it. That is the adjective I used. It was good and I liked it, but there wasn't anything which like.
I think it's hard with movies like this. Like I want to give it a 4, but I'm struggling to give it a 4 because other 4-star films in my book are stuff like, I don't know, like baddies. I need to check my letterbox. Maybe I want to give you more examples of 4 stars.
But like a Disney 4-star film, like I'd give the original Lilo and Stitch a 4-star. Like I think the original is like an 8 out of 10. Really good movie. It's new. It's like fresh. Whereas this one does derive a lot of its ideas from it, of course, because it's a remake. But what I do like about this, for better or worse, they made bold changes. Mm-hmm. And like whether you agree with them or not, they did it. And I think certain live action remakes, such as How to Train Your Dragon, for example, it is going to fall into the case of this is just the same movie.
Yeah.
And like, again, that's another thing. For better or for worse, that's still a thing. Whereas I like that this made bold changes. Gantu's not in it. Completely, the Captain Gantu, the baddie he's kind of the baddie in the first. He's like the big, I don't know how to describe it. It looks a bit like a whale. A grey guy. Yeah. Whereas they kind of made Jumba the main antagonist in this.
I like the change of, I know in the movies, the 2 aliens would just put on a hat to blend in.
Oh, but I love that. See, that works. Originally, I didn't quite get that change. But in the medium of animation...
Yeah, that's the wacky style of
the Scooby-Doo-esqueness of...
the Looney Tunes aspect, yeah.
It works, but if they were aliens in hats and dresses and stuff, it would kind of detract from the more grounded elements of the rest of the film, I think.
It took me a while to realise that was Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, his voice.
Because his voice different. The lack of a beard changes his face entirely. If Anne said it was him at the beginning, I went, no, it's not.
I couldn't make it
because I'm a big lover of the Hangovers and like the Between Two Ferns series and the movies. So I love Zach Galifianakis, and I was like, no, it's not him. And only about halfway through, he shouted, and I went, oh no, it is him. It is him. But going back to what I was saying about, like, I want to give this 4 stars because I did really enjoy it. But other 4 stars that I've given are like The Shining, 10 Things I Hate About You, Baby Driver, Donnie Darko, and I'm like, this clearly isn't the same vibe as those films. It's not in. It's at the end of the day, it's a kids' film.
Yeah.
And that does affect my rating slightly.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly.
I think I don't know. For me, it is just like with all of these live action remakes, the original is a better quality film. I think the original has bolder themes. I think it's more visually engaging, and there is part of me that just. I'm still not on board with the remakes in general. Like
no, neither am I.
My most hated film of all time is the Lion King remake. I just can't get behind it. And
my most disliked live action, I think, is the Aladdin.
Oh right.
Because Aladdin, the original, is my favourite Disney animation film.
Lion King is my favourite.
Yeah. And to see them butcher it like that, I was horrified.
I can almost guarantee you they're gonna get their hands on Hercules next. You can
It'll be Hercules.
Guarantee it because they've milked all of their major. They've already done it.
Will they do Tarzan? Properties. I guess they've already. There is live action Tarzans.
Yeah, with Bill Alexander Skarsgård. One of the Skarsgårds.
Will they go through all the Renaissance films? Do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, the only ones that are left.
Have they done Lady and the Tramp? They have, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done Lady and the Tramp, they've done Dumbo, they've done the other Renaissance films
Aladdin,
that are left.
Mulan,
they've done Beauty and the Beast, they've done
Jungle
Lion
Book,
King, Jungle Book,
Snow White.
I don't know, they've done Cinderella.
That was awful as well.
Sleeping Beauty, they kind of did with Maleficent.
Yeah. Tangled though.
Tangled and Tangled and Hercules, I reckon, will be on the horizons.
Well, there was news about the Tangled one recently because they were casting that at the moment. There are a few people I know.
You saw Jojo Siwa sending a tape. Did you see that?
No. A few people I knew were in for that, and then I believe they stopped the casting process after Snow White came out because of the failure of Snow White. There was also rumours about Sabrina Carpenter doing it.
I don't see it.
I can't see it. She's Disney Channel. She's Broadway. Blonde. She's Broadway trained.
I don't know.
You know, she's done Mean Girls on Broadway.
I'm not on the Sabrina Carpenter train.
Neither am I. I think she's a good talent, but I don't really listen to her music too much.
No.
I like Please, Please, Please.
But Lilo and Stitch, what I do, like I was saying, they did change stuff. This feels like a different film.
Yeah. It's got way more heart to it.
But then again, I don't know if it does.
Well, compared to the rest.
Oh, compared to the rest, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Again, I think that's down to actually the lack of CGI in it. Because how can we get heart when we're seeing animated lions that
I get that.
Don't emote like they did in the original.
Well, that's just the nature of the story. It's a human-based story.
Yeah.
With this little alien kind of in it.
Yeah.
I tell you, I did like the addition of Tia Carrera, I think her name is, as the social worker.
Yeah.
Which, intriguingly, Tia was the voice of the original Nani. So that's a nice little
Really?
Easter egg, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
And I liked the addition of the neighbour character. I thought she was very funny. Yeah. I would have liked Bubbles to have more to do.
Yeah, I was a bit underwhelmed with Bubbles.
But the whole point of Bubbles is that he's like this. You don't really know what he's mysterious in the first film. It's like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Also, in the film, he's big and bulky and he's got these cool glasses on.
It loses some of the caricatureness, like the big guy with the tan lines and the snow coat. Like that doesn't. He's kind of there.
Yeah, but the second time he drops his ice cream, he just tips it out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
I don't know. I did like it, but I'm not going to revisit it. And if I want to consume more Lilo and Stitch media, I would consume the animated movie. I think that's where I stand with it.
I'm going to go and watch Lilo and Stitch 2, I think.
Yeah, no, do. But that being said, I did get to sit down with the director and the producer.
Yes.
And Sydney, who plays Nani. And starting things off, I think we'll start with the director and the producer. So that is Dean Fleischer Camp. Dean. How do you say Fleischer? Fleischer. I was right. Dean Fleischer Camp, who was the director of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Good movie.
And Jonathan Eyrick, who was the producer of the Aladdin remake. Producer on that's a weird filmography. He was a producer of the Aladdin remake, the Haunted Mansion film, Lilo and Stitch, and The Two Popes.
I watched that recently, actually. Good movie.
I mean, what a collection of films. How the hell
does that happen?
How do you go from The Two Popes to the Haunted Mansion movie? What the heck? Anyway, sat down with those two lads, both really nice guys. So here's my conversation with Jonathan and Dean. I mean, when it comes to adapting like an animated classic like Lilo and Stitch or Aladdin that you worked on, how do you walk the line as creatives of kind of paying homage to the original while still allowing this to kind of breathe and be its own thing?
Yeah, I think it's really hard. You have to. I think you have to always gut check everything against, your real mission statement when you're making the film. I feel like the opportunity with making a live action adaptation of this movie in particular was always the one that I was like, ooh, I feel like I can make a live action adaptation of that because it takes place in, unlike every Disney canonical animated film, it takes place in contemporary society in a real place and mostly stars normal humans. Yeah. And so I think that affords you the opportunity in a live action setting to like really invest in the characters, the human characters, and the emotional currents going through the thing. And so I think it was always about how do we tell an emotional, kind of maybe more deeply emotional story about these two sisters and this alien, while not losing all of the like fun of Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
I think these movies also have to be made by fans. Like, you have to love the original in order to make these movies, because you have to, part of that gut check is like, what would I be so mad if it wasn't in the film?
Yeah.
And make sure those things are in the movie.
And you can tell that it's
and
not.
as a fan, you sort of know what are those marks that like you gotta hit, because I would be mad if it weren't in the movie. And then what are all the things that you feel like, oh, we can expand or deepen this or create new scenes that almost feel like they should have been in the original movie. And there's one thing I won't spoil, but the scene with Nani and Stitch underwater near the end, like that scene gets me every time, you know, and it's a brand new thing, but it almost feels like it should be part of it.
Yeah, what's one of your, I imagine, is that probably one of your favourite new additions, that scene towards
Absolutely,
the end?
yeah.
Do you have a favourite new addition?
I have a lot of favorite new additions. We were talking about how like you've succeeded at what we were trying to do. If people walk out of the theater like, that was great. Was that in the original or not?
Yeah,
like that part or this part.
I had to watch it afterwards, just to double check everything.
Yeah, like we're always trying to make something that rhymes and fits in the universe that we love, but is not necessarily the exact same thing. My favorite, I mean, my Mrs. Kikoa, the addition of Mrs. Kikoa is, I think, a really cool addition. My mom growing up was a social worker, so I felt like that's a cool little new character.
Yeah.
And also is so beautiful that it's played by Tia Carrere, and so in a meta way, it is sort of like Nani grown up consulting her younger self about how to live.
Full circle stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I've got to ask the question. Are you guys on Letterboxd?
I might be.
You might be. Well, I've just got to say, Dean, your film, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, has a 4.2 average on Letterboxd.
Pretty good.
It is in the top 250 films on Letterboxd. You are
It's
up there
next
with
to- yeah.
The Hen, Goodfellas, and Seven Samurai.
Always the movies that get compared.
I
get that all the
I
time.
was scrolling through, I was like, it's right there. Okay. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and you're
Yes.
now directing the live-action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
What's the moment in your career so far that's been like, you know what, I'm doing okay here? Is it seeing La Hen and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I like that. That movie was really made from like, spit and like aspirations and effort, and like by such a small team for such a low budget that it was amazing that it like found this bigger audience and had this whole life. I just feel grateful that
It's on there.
It's on there.
You've got the little crown where it says reviews. It's sick. It's sick, man. I'm speaking to like Letterboxd royalty.
I
man.
laugh
This is
every
it.
time. A friend of mine will like send me a screen grab of it next to like whatever it's next to at the moment.
Every time it
and it's
goes up or
always,
down, it's like-
Citizen Kane or whatever. It's so funny.
It's awesome. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
I think it means they need to rejigger that algorithm.
figure out the rating scale.
Yeah, something's up.
Yeah. But no, thank you so much, guys.
Hey,
Great
thank
to see
you. Thanks a
No,
lot.
great to meet
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Have a great rest
Yeah,
of
take
your
care.
day.
What a lovely little conversation.
What a lovely guys. So cool being able to geek out over Letterboxd with them both.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, right. That film is on the top 250 on Letterboxd, as I mentioned. It's got a 4.2 average. And currently, I did say it's on the same list as Seven Samurai, La Hen, and
Well, the
Goodfellas.
Letterboxd 250 are like the best movies ever released.
Before
so you're talking
Sunrise.
every classic you could ever think of is on
Dead
there.
Poets Society, Django.
What if you find it? What are the
think?
ones surrounding it?
Okay, so it goes a 217, Saving Private Ryan, a 219, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 222, Grand Budapest Hotel, 223, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, 225, Bridge Over the River Kwai, 228, The King of Comedy. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On has beaten Raging Bull, Vertigo, The Shining, Napoleon. It's
I mean, personally,
all power to
is
him.
Napoleon on there?
Not Ridley Scott's, the original one.
Oh.
The original one by that one
Fine.
from
Well, if I'm
27.
honest, I liked Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
You don't
I
have
was a bit bored. I do have it logged, I think.
No, you do.
I've watched it, yeah. It was fine. It was sweet. I wasn't really engaged.
I genuinely think for a directorial, he'd done short films before that, I think, but for a big directorial feature such as that,
Yeah.
A24 movie, to be on that list is all power to him.
I gave it 2.5 stars.
That's like
Sorry,
saying to
Dean.
him, at what point do you think, I'm onto a winner here? I'm on the Letterboxd top 250 and I'm directing a live action Disney remake.
Yeah, he must be pretty happy with himself.
Oh, I would be, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just?
Absolutely.
Like,
I'd sit back and have a drink.
yeah, exactly. Up in a bottle of champers. So that was Dean and Jonathan. Mm-hmm. Next, I sat down with Sydney. Now, I will say, before going into this interview, give you a bit of like a behind-the-scenes thing of how these work. So, you're in a hotel, and they've kind of kitted out a hotel room with kind of all of the paraphernalia, the boards, the cameras, the lights, and everything. And sometimes there are delays. I'm not gonna lie. This was a day where there was delays. I don't know what was going on, but there was delays. So I did Dean and Jonathan, and then I had about a 2 and a bit hour wait before I went in to see Sydney. And by that time, I was like one of the last people going in. She'd been there for ages. I'd been there for ages. We were like both a bit done in. But I will say, I think Sydney, given how long a day it was, I think she did a great job in this interview, keeping the energy up, which was very much appreciated, because there is nothing worse than going into one of these interviews and
I mean,
having somewhat. Well, I mean, you're on the other end.
It's a very different, grandeur, but I've done full days of interviews. I remember one vividly. Me and Stevie were doing radio interviews for literally about 6 hours, and we were just in one booth talking to about 30 different radio stations. And for the first 2 hours, I was chipper, I was great, and I slowly started declining. Literally by the end of the day, I was like, "Hello, BBC Radio Gloucester."
Well, it's all the same, and I imagine they get all the same questions. But Sydney Agudong. This is her kind of first big feature.
Yeah.
Has pumped out some music before, as I mentioned in the interview.
Listen to her music.
Check her music out. I think she goes by Jane Doe for her music.
Jane Doe, I like that.
So yeah, here's my conversation with Sydney Agudong, who plays Nani in Lilo and Stitch. Anna and Elsa, Coda and Kenai, Lilo and Nani. If there's one thing that Disney does right, it's siblings. And I'm honoured to be joined by one today, Nani and Jane Doe herself, Sydney Agudong. I'm going to say, Sydney, I like the Jane Doe stuff.
Jeez, man, thanks.
Honestly, Youth has been in
no way you watch
all morning.
Frick,
I was like, that's a banger.
It's a little bop, yeah.
It is quite a bop, and
Thank
you
you.
don't get to sing in this. I'm right in thinking.
I get to sing a little bit. It's a broken up, actor, version, crying my eyes out version of Aloha Oi, but it was fantastic, and I was so grateful.
But Lilo and Stitch isn't really like a classic Disney musical, but you strike me as a lady who's into like the classic Disney musicals.
I was a huge musical person growing up, and then I absolutely hated them at some point in time just because I was so fed up with all the singing.
This is going so well.
I know, but now I'm like, give me a West End audition, I'm gonna kill it.
Okay.
I'm like, come on now.
What is your go-to Disney song that you like to sing?
Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride seems like the right answer, man.
That's on brand. I'm more of a Hunchback guy myself.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, bit of classic.
Hercules. Wait, what is that Hercules song
Zero
with
to
the
Hero.
girls?
Oh, and Say I'm in Love. Meg?
No, it was all the Greek goddesses.
Yeah, Zero to Hero.
Yeah. Don't know the song, but I love it.
Coming to the West
Don't
End.
hate me.
Coming to the West End.
Is it
June.
really? No way.
Yeah. At the Palladium as well.
I gotta come back.
Mega. It's gonna be sick.
Crazy.
So from what I've read through my extensive research, okay, you finished high school.
Yeah.
Went straight to LA to pursue your acting and music career. You're now in the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. What's been the moment in this process so far that's made you think, I'm doing all right? I'm doing okay here.
I think right now.
this whole thing.
I think the industry is going through such a weird space and time right now, so I'm just grateful for anything that I get right now and counting all my blessings. But it has been a really long time, and my sister and I have worked our butt off, as well as my family, to help us get through it all. Yeah. So, yeah.
And what advice would you have for people who are kind of like taking that leap into this tumultuous world?
Yeah, totally. Honestly, truly, it's very cliche, but don't give up and believe in your own intuition and your artistic expression in that sort of way. Yeah. I was gonna quit
along the way as well. Just write some banging tunes along the way. That would help.
Yeah, well. Always have an outlet, a creative outlet. If it's not fun for you and it's not an outlet, don't do it. Choose something else and then come back to it. Yeah. I almost quit, before I booked this role.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't. I left drama school because it just wasn't for me, and now I'm finding my way back into it now through all of this stuff.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. With this film, it's a remake. You kind of got to balance paying homage to the original as well as it being your own thing. How do you kind of find that line as a performer?
I mean, you're constantly exploring it, and you're constantly exploring that as an actor too. You know, whether or not it's a remake or not. Obviously, this was a very iconic film, and I was making sure that I could do everything I could to make sure I was paying homage, and you know, it was kind of my kuleana in that sort of way, or my responsibility to like be able to bring forth the Hawaii community, and also make sure I was hell-bent on wanting to talk to Tia because I wanted to get her take on it and also get her blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and she killed it. So like I was like, come on, help me out. But she gave me that freedom to explore, and I learned every single day.
Yeah, and she was amazing in this
Yeah.
film as well. She was great, a great addition to this.
Oh my
film.
gosh, it was such a nice nemesis thing with the dynamic between us. I loved it.
It was brilliant. I was speaking to the director about favorite additions. Do you have a favorite aside from Tia?
Yeah.
A favorite new addition in this new remake?
New addition?
A new addition.
Okay, got it. Tutu, Amy. Amy is rad, man. And she's so, I can't say the word bad A in this. She's so bad-a.
Cool.
She's so
cool,
rad.
man. Yeah.
She's
Dope.
she's still dope in general.
So dope, man.
Yeah.
So sick, man. I love that. And finally, just you've come into this film that means the world to Hawaii and all that, and
And the whole
to your
world.
family as well, and the
Yeah.
whole world. How does it feel, kind of having that kuleana,
Yeah.
that responsibility, and you know now you're a part of this legacy.
Yeah, I mean, at first I felt like there was a lot of, you know, pressure, and I was daunted by that whole task and wanting to make sure I did it right. And then I kind of realized that everybody was supporting me, especially in my community, and like everybody wanted it to be successful. And so it felt like we were all trying to do it together.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like I released it in that sort of way.
It's so special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as
Have a
well.
great-
I'm in love with her.
She's wonderful. She's
She's
very,
so cool.
very, very lovely, and I wish her all the success. 'Cause
Yes.
she did give a very, very good performance in this film.
She did. She really did.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
And I reckon her next film will be Scream 13, or do you know what I mean? Like
she'll have like the Maddie, no, what's her name? Mikey Madison treatment. Like she's.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no, it won't be that. I'm thinking more along the lines of
Like Jenna
the
Ortega or-
lady who was the lead in The Heights. She did like In the Heights, and then she did the Scream movie. She did like Scream 7 or something.
Yeah.
Like I could see Sydney going into something like that, or
That'd be good.
Maybe
I'd love to see her in more. She's a real
like,
talent.
Go into something like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, or
Yeah.
Tall Girl, or a Netflix thing like that. I think
I could see her in like a Richard Linklater coming of age film. Have you seen Everybody Wants Some?
No.
You really need to watch that.
Oh, is that
really,
good?
oh, dude, it's one of my favorite films. But I could see her in something like that. She'd be great.
Either way, I'm sure she's got a very, very bright future
Yes.
ahead of her. And I think that Maya, let me get her name up because I don't want to butcher it. Maya Kaloa? Little girl who plays Lilo.
Oh, sorry, I'm with you.
I'll be honest with you, Maya Kealoha.
Kialoa.
She did so well.
She was great. She was so good.
Considering she's what, 6? Like,
She was funny as well.
she was really good.
Like some of the lines she delivered were really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's down to her or like whether she had a really good relationship with the director to help her get that out for her. But like she was really great.
Oh, all power to that girl. Like I hope she continues to act because
Yeah.
she was really good.
A prodigy.
Potentially, yeah. Right, that was our little conversation about the new Lilo and Stitch movie. I'm going to stick with a 3-star out of 5-star, a 6 out of 10.
3.5 for me.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to keep it there, yeah.
Are you getting close to maybe a 7.5 out of 10 if that was an option?
Yeah, maybe. No, 7 out of 10 sounds good,
7 out of
actually.
10 sounds
7
good.
out of 10 sounds
Let
good.
us know what you guys thought of the Lilo and Stitch. I can't do it.
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. No, I just sound like I'm...
Don't watch my movie.
Yeah, do it. Let us know what you think. I will say, even though I gave it a 3, it is probably my favourite live-action Disney remake.
Yeah, agreed.
But now it is time for Disney Hot Takes.
Whoa! Okay.
So I'm going to start because I've been holding on to this ever since I grabbed a hold of this man. Right? My Disney Hot Take... I don't like Stitch. If I was Nani, I'd have kicked this thing out on the first day. I don't care how much my sister likes this thing.
No!
He's going out. This thing destroyed their family home, all the memories of their parents, like everything that they had, gone because of this thing. All this does is cause havoc, and that he's not even there for love originally, he's just there so he can, like, hide. This thing is a liability, and I do not understand how he has become a big Disney mascot.
You don't deserve to hold him.
I don't get...
I agree that he is a nuisance at the start of the film, but he's so cute.
I don't care.
No, because his arc as well in the film is beautiful. It's so good, and he's so cute.
I don't care. He's broken my house. He's destroyed my... Aliens have destroyed my home, and my little sister wants to keep this thing. In 10 years, she's not going to even remember him. She's only like 5 or 6. I can't remember. I think I had a dog called Stan.
He'll live for a while. And no, that's actually that. No.
5 or 6.
She will remember him for life. I had a dog called Wellington.
Well, I'm so happy for you. But I can remember... You didn't...
Get off him!
But he wasn't an alien who ransacked your home, like, causing it... There was a scene, right, where this thing was, like, slamming the fridge door in Nani's face. If he did that to me,
that was funny.
I'd have, like, boot kicked it into next week. Okay? That is my hot take. I do not like this thing.
RSPCA. I need you around here, please.
Honestly, instead of RSPCA, Lilo needed Childline over a Stitch. 0800 1111
3.
No, it's 1111. 0800 double... Oh, it was 0800 1111.
We're going to look it up now. I think it's 0800 1122 3.
Maybe
Childline number.
Are you okay? Do you need help?
Sending assistance to your location.
Lilo needed Childline over a Stitch. Like, genuinely, that girl needed help. Actual help. Not an alien that's going to come and ruin their lives. That's my hot take.
That is a hot take. Here we go. Childline.
0800 1111.
Oh, it is the 111.
I knew it. There you
What
go,
is
kids.
11223? That's something. Okay, so
Say it's sorted.
my first hot take
Go on.
is The Little Mermaid is so heavily overrated.
Agreed. The original.
Yes.
Agreed.
I mean, and the new one.
I think the original is kind of like Snow White in the way that it should be respected.
Yeah.
Like, I respect...
For the time.
I respect the pants off of The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. For Alan Menken's music, Howard Ashman's lyrics, like, all of that stuff. Phenomenal. It reinvented Disney. But
I think the movie's overrated.
I do think it's... I think it's like a 6 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
6 out of 10, maybe something like that.
People talk about it like it's the best Disney movie ever, and I'm always a bit like, are you sure though?
Yeah.
Eric's a bit of a wet wipe. Ursula is a very good villain. I'll give it that. Poor Unfortunate Souls is a good song. But the rest of the film...
Part of Your World's are great. That's it.
I think part of Your World, I am so bored of it.
All of the music, Kiss the Girl, Under the Sea, I think all of the music is really strong. But I think just narratively, it's a bit...
I think I'm
predictable.
maybe a bit oversaturated with it. A lot of people sing those songs in my industry. And if I hear Part of Your World one more time, I might vomit.
You know what I do quite like?
Gadgets and gizmos. I do love that phrase, actually.
Yeah. I do quite like the stage version of Little Mermaid.
GSA, when I was in second year, GSA did the first UK production of it, and the third years did it. And that was quite good.
I think it's quite...
it.
There's a song that Flounder sings, which I quite liked. It's quite jazzy, with the sisters.
The the very famous TikToker Maddie Grace Jepson was the year above me at GSA, and she played Ariel. She was very good.
Oh, great.
She was very good. But that was my first hot take. Have you got another one for us?
I do have another one for you. I don't actually know if this is a hot take, but I'm going to say it anyway. Pocahontas isn't just a bad movie. I think it could be the worst Disney movie I've seen.
Interesting. Again, not one I watched as a kid, so I don't really have much of a stand on it. I know it's a bit
so
topically, what's the word?
Culturally
odd now.
Yeah.
But
The Little Mermaid, I'm sorry, Pocahontas as a character is so boring.
Yeah.
Like,
John
There's
Smith.
the music in that film is
White
terrible.
Saviour. I love that for Disney.
Yeah, the
Stupid.
music's terrible.
Colours of the Wind.
This is what I was going to say. That entire film is so bad up until Colours of the Wind. You could watch Colours of the Wind and that's the whole film. Like, to be honest with you. What I find mental is that was like the A project.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people that were like bad or were underperforming were sent to work on Lion King. Lion King was the film that they didn't think would do well. They thought Pocahontas was going to be Oscar bait because the year before they got nominated for Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
So they were like, right, we want to recreate that. Let's do Pocahontas. I have that at 1.5 stars, a 3 out of 10. I hate that film. The characters, Pocahontas is dull and generic. There's nothing unique about her. She's got no traits. I couldn't tell you anything about her, or John Smith for that matter. The way that they just twist this harrowing story into this whimsical... it's just not great. I tell a lie. It's not the worst Disney movie I've ever seen. The worst Disney movie I've ever seen is Fun and Fancy Free. Now that...
Never even heard of it.
From 1947. Now that is terrible. That is awful.
I'm going to make one of these, a Walt Disney list. Is that Disney animation list?
Yeah, Walt Disney animation list.
Interesting.
What's your second one?
So my next one is Pixar is slowly turning into Disney 2.0.
In what way?
Emotionally manipulative formulas, e.g. Dead Parents, Cute Sidekick. Endless sequels, Cars 2 and 3, Finding Dory, Toy Story 4, Incredibles 2, Incredibles 3.
I'd say that sequels are more of a Pixar trait than a Disney trait, to be honest. The studios, I know they did like the VHS sequels.
I don't know, I think, especially with Pixar have changed up their animation style recently, especially in like, if you've seen the new Pixar series, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called
Win
now. Win or Lose, yeah, something like that. It's a Disney movie. It's so similar, and it's annoying because I personally prefer Pixar to Disney just as a whole. But like, yeah, where is that the originality of like The Incredibles? Like, there is nothing like The Incredibles anymore. Elio looks... Is Elio Pixar? I don't think it is, actually. I think it might just be Disney. That's a bad example. But like, everything they do coming out now looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Whereas WALL-E, Up, Incredibles are all different ballparks.
Yeah.
Like, they were so original for their time. And Cars, like, their first 15 movies were all so original.
All great, so distinct.
And they're just getting into like one big blur now. It's kind of sad.
No, I agree. I think the thing is with Pixar, the sequel formula is kind of working for... I just need to check that this ad's posted. Oh yeah. The sequel formula has worked for them up until to a point. I think they are royally milking Toy Story at this point, though. Like 5.
Well, I think that was another one of mine, actually.
They'll be shipping out Tom Hanks and Tim Allen until they're
This
dead.
was, I guess, my third one. Toy Story 4 and 5 should not exist.
No, I think they're wildly unnecessary.
Maybe that's not necessarily a hot take, but 3 was a perfect ending for Andy's story.
I don't know why...
Like the toys and Woody and Buzz and their whole family ended so perfectly, going to Bonnie and Andy leaving for college.
Yeah.
That could have been an all-time trilogy.
Yeah.
But now it's a quadrilogy.
It's like Tarantino refuses to watch 4, I think.
I don't... Like, if I had his willpower, I don't think I'd watch 5.
Yeah. I don't know, it is just a shame. And I know the argument for some people is that 3 was the end of Andy's story.
Boring.
But 4 is the end of Woody's. And I'm like, well...
Then why are you making 5?
Then why are you making... Yeah, exactly.
And also, like...
do we need to give Buzz an ending? Like, these are all kind of secondary...
Mr. Potato Head needs an ending.
Yeah.
Like, no. Toy Story 3 ended so well in such a beautiful place. If I'm honest, I think Woody's story had ended perfectly.
I think it had too.
Like, didn't he leave with Andy?
No, Woody...
Oh, no, Woody stayed.
was left with Bonnie. And you know what? It's a wonderful tale of being, like... Of moving on and growing up and toys letting go and, you know... I don't know. It was really, really wonderful.
Cash grab.
Yeah, I agree.
Cash grab.
I completely agree. Right, whose go is it?
Yours.
Again, I don't know how much of a hot take this is, but Hunchback is wildly underrated, and Claude Frollo is the best Disney villain?
Great villain. Absolutely underrated film. It never gets talked about like it should.
No.
Which is odd.
And weirdly enough, I'd also say the stage version is better than the film.
Well, I was about to say again, one of the best stage adaptations.
If you have not listened... Whenever I speak to people about Hunchback of Notre Dame, they're always like, "Oh, I don't know if it's me. It doesn't really feel like Disney." That's the point.
That's why it's so good.
That's why it's so good. It opens with Claude Frollo murdering some people on the steps of a cathedral. Like, it's meant to... He's about to drown a baby just because he's malformed. Like, isn't he?
Yeah.
And everything is heightened in the stage version, like the despair, the kind of the violence,
the orchestration by Stephen Schwartz and Alan Menken is phenomenal.
Just wonderful.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like Hellfire in that sounds like something you'd hear in like a period.
It sounds like what you'd hear in hell.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. It's so good.
Yeah.
Out There and Made of Stone are two of the best Disney songs. That's why every bloody male sings them ever.
And you won't have heard Made of Stone if you haven't listened to the theatre version. Patrick Page. Yeah. What made
I kind of hit that.
of stone.
What are we doing? I can't hit that.
Yeah, you did kind of hit that. I'll do Hellfire.
Michael Arden's version of those songs was so good.
There's a brilliant... If you just look up on YouTube, Hunchback of Notre Dame musical recording, there's a brilliant sequence of them recording. Patrick Page does a bit of Hellfire, Michael Arden does a bit of Made of Stone. Oh, what's a girl called who's playing Esmeralda? She does a bit of God Help the Outcasts, and then they all come together to sing Esmeralda, which is like the Act 1 finale. And that Act 1 finale, the devil dwells in Esmeralda. Oh, Esmeralda. Oh, Esmeralda.
Oh, so good.
Wait and see and sound.
There's a brilliant production, I think it's done in America somewhere, where Quasimodo is played by a deaf actor, and he signs the whole thing, and there's a gargoyle behind him doing the singing, and it's so good. Yeah. It is so brilliant.
Well, friend of the channel, Lois Mia, as she goes by online, was Esmeralda when National Youth Theatre did it in 2021. They did it in Manchester Cathedral.
Wow.
And it looked for not... And
they did
the same thing.
Did they?
With the deaf actor.
I think that's such a brilliant inclusion.
It just adds a whole other layer to it all.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, what I'd give. So good, yeah.
Okay, so my next one... Both Into the Unknown and Let It Go aren't even top 20 Disney songs.
Oh.
Top 20 maybe high, top 15 Disney songs.
Is that personally, or do you think that is like quantifiably, like objectively?
I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
I think I'd probably agree, but
I could rattle off 15 songs better than them right now.
I think objectively, Let It Go is a really good song. Like,
it's fine.
Objectively, it's really good.
Again, maybe I've got a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because it's one of the songs I hear all the time.
Yeah.
But Into the Unknown is exactly the same song, just in a slightly higher key.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same song. Into the Unknown is boring as hell. But there's probably 6 in Aladdin alone that are better.
But
Friend Like Me, Prince Ali, A Whole New World.
That's...
Kind of all of them. Circle
Arabian
of Life.
Nights.
Yeah, Arabian Nights, Circle of Life.
Hakuna Matata.
Can't Wait to Be King. Hakuna Matata. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Hold Me in Your Heart. Strangers Like Me.
You'll Be in My Heart.
That's the one. What did I say?
Hold Me in Your Heart.
You'll Be in My Heart.
Yeah. Anything from Encanto. Anything from Moana.
We don't talk about Bruno. How far I'll go.
Where You Are.
Where You Are. See the Light from Tangled.
You're welcome. Yeah.
When Will My Life Begin?
I think you're right. You are right.
They're just not great, and they get overhyped so much.
Yeah.
God!
I am inclined to agree. I do agree with you.
Good. Do you agree with that one? Because, God.
My hot take...
Also, sorry. Have you seen the compilations of Idina Menzel not being able to sing those two songs? There's a brilliant one at Disneyland Paris where she cannot do it. Oh god.
Into the
No! There's a good one when she was doing her tour and she was singing it, and she tried to sing the ending about 8 times, and she handled it so well. I'll give it to her. She went, "You try and sing it. You try and sing it." And then she finally got it.
Adele Dazeem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adele Dazeem.
What a woman.
Your one.
My one is, my hot take is that Disney needs to get away from trying to replicate the Lin-Manuel Miranda style of writing.
Yeah.
They are obsessed with it because they had a hit with the first Moana film, they had a hit with Encanto. But let's be real, Lin wrote the music for Mufasa. And what? Is anybody still singing I Always Wanted a Brother? Is anybody still...
I always wanted a brother.
Like, really?
No.
And everyone, the music in Wish, there's this whole section where they're like, like these rapid kind of lyrics.
Yeah, I think they've seen something that's worked twice and they've gone, oh, this is what they want.
Yeah.
But it only works if, I think, one, it fits the film. Encanto is a Latino story. Lin-Manuel Miranda knows how to write that. Moana is...
Well, the thing
is... It's Polynesian, but it has that aspect of, like...
Well, no, it's not so much that. Like the lyricism, like the is it the timbre? The rhythm of the lyrics needs to be informed by character. Like, you can't just have random characters rapping for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why Maui's doing it is because he's like, he's got so many accolades and he's trying to inform Moana before he's trying to distract her and bewilder her.
Yeah, and he's also that sort of character as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
like
he's a chauvinist.
Yeah.
Whereas, let's think about Mirabelle. At the end of the Family Madrigal, she's doing, I've got brothers and sisters.
But again, as well, like, that fits that character and that kind of community.
Well, no,
that's the music that comes from that.
Well, it fits the story because she's got so many brothers and sisters and so many cousins, and she's trying to cram it all in.
Yeah.
So that works. But when in Wish you've got random deers rapping for no reason whatsoever, it feels like you're pandering to the the Lin train. And heck, even, I don't know, Mufasa, some of the songs in that were terrible. But, Disney... I was watching a video earlier by a guy called Schaefer Lust Productions who was talking about this. And gone are the days where Disney had, a really solid bunch of, musical theatre writers. Dedicated musical theatre writers. They need another Alan Menken. And I think they thought that Lin-Manuel Miranda would be that guy.
Yeah.
But Lin is almost his style is almost too distinct. His style,
you can tell a Lin-Manuel Miranda song from a mile away.
Whereas Alan Menken has this universal musical theatre style, which is just so rich and warm and it translates so well to any film, any song.
Well, he covers multiple genres, and he can do the Tangleds and the Aladdins and the whatever other ones he wrote. Whereas Lin-Manuel Miranda is famous for generally that one style.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, he does the ballads and the raps and whatever, but it's always one stuff no one's talking about
Wild Uncharted
Waters,
which is the best new song from The Little Mermaid.
See what song I hated in that one?
Scuttlebug. Yeah, it's awful.
Oh my
god. They would have almost been better just taking songs from the stage version, which is what
her voice.
Awkwafina, yes.
Where is her? No, not Awkwafina. I meant the song Her Voice.
Oh, I've forgotten that.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
But the oh yeah, no, you're right. I know.
Where did she go?
But when they eventually come to doing Hunchback, I'm praying they do the stage music on the film.
You'd be silly not to.
And I really hope that film is almost rated a 12. Maybe not a 12, but a strong PG.
Well, they definitely won't do that.
I want that film is brutally dark. It's so, and the animation portrays it so well in its gothic we're back to Hunchback, but Hunchback is genuinely phenomenal. And if there is one takeaway from this video, it's that Dean Fleischer Camp is a really nice guy, and Hunchback of Notre Dame is really good.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us again. That was Disney Hot Takes. Let us know whether you agree or disagree. We're going to wrap this episode up now, so thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow the pod on the Scene Stealers podcast everywhere. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. You can follow myself on Tobias_Turley on Instagram or Tobias Turley on Letterboxd.
I'm Henry Calvert.
We always fumble this bit.
I'm Henry Calvert. There we go. Big thank you to Disney for allowing us access to Dean Fleischer Camp, Jonathan Eyrick, and Sydney Agudong.
Yes, and for letting us see the movie early.
Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed those interviews. If you did, we would really appreciate it if you dropped a like and a comment and everything so that we can keep bringing them.
Yes,
Next week, we are hoping to have another cool, exciting interview, which I don't know if I can talk about yet, but next week we are hoping to have...
We'll leave you an intrigue. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.